What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Smackdown, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including when will the OG Bloodline reunite? Rikishi wants WWE to do better with Jacob Fatu. Rest in peace Def Rebel and bad music in WWE. Vickie Guerrero fan backlash. WWE superstars appear at TNA Victory Road. Could Jacob Fatu have a potential new manager, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. As always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, a sensational season premiere. Smackdown hit it out of the park last night with a great start to the new season and the show's return to the USA Network. Last night was all about the return of Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, undoubtedly the WWE's top 2 babyfaces. The question of who is number 1 is a topic that could be answered in a whole new video. A Roman's war with Solo Sikoa's bloodline is SmackDown's top feud, and adding Cody Rhodes to the Civil War was a smart way to keep Cody at the top, as after all he's the Blue Brand's world champion and played off his long history with the group. Thankfully, the WWE didn't phone in the rest of the show. The Hayes vs Andrade match was another rematch, but framing it as a best of 5 series is a great way to avoid it seeming like one repetitive rematch after another. Likewise, fans have seen Kevin Owens scrapping with A-Town Down Under for months, but adding Randy Orton kept things fresh. As for Mishin vs Piper, we'll get to that in a bit. Number 2, Colossal Cage Match. Last night's cage match was the right way to start the show, as the WWE wanted a strong lead-in for SmackDown. Although this was a main event match, it's not the first time that WWE has started off rather than ending with a main event match. Here, the match was all about setting up Roman Reigns' return and getting fans to stay tuned throughout the show to see whether Cody would team up with the original Tribal Chief. As for the cage match, it was a solid showing by both men, but it should be clear that the WWE needs to move on from Cody vs Solo simply because Rhodes has beat him whenever it's mattered. Number 3, the Bloodline is Roman's problem. Cody's initial refusal to team with Roman Reigns was a great setup for Cody's change of heart later in the show. Rhodes has dealt with the Bloodline for the last 2 years, and understandably, he wants to move on. This was another example of the WWE's focus on logic in its storylines, as Cody had no reason to deal with Roman until the events later in the show changed his mind. Number 4, well done guest appearance. SmackDown featured a slew of guest appearances that enhanced the show without taking the focus of the show's current superstars. This was a pleasant change from past shows where guest appearances disrupted the main show, with writers awkwardly trying to place them into the show. Number 5, brilliant best of 5 series. Last night's finale to Andrade and Carmelo Hayes' best of 5 series was excellently executed, and while Carmelo fans will argue he should have won the deciding match, the series elevated both men. Andrade needed this series to re-establish his credentials since his return to WWE, while Hayes needed the TV time to show the universe he's someone to keep an eye on. While we are skeptical that the series is over, particularly after Andrade said so, and a sure sign Hayes has other plans, it's another example of how to book an undercard program on TV and hold fans' interest. Number 6, WWE graphics level up. A SmackDown season premiere had much going for it, including some of the new graphics to liven up the show. It's hard to believe how much things have changed since Kevin Dunn's departure, and while Dunn deserves credit for the WWE's tremendous production values, whoever's behind the current presentation has taken things even further. We love the new logo. We gotta say the new logo looks absolutely fire. It's given SmackDown a nice futuristic look to it. What do you guys think of the new logo? That was good. What about the bad? As number 1, Mishin vs Piper was in a showcase match. SmackDown ruined an opportunity to showcase some of its women's division by booking Mishin vs Piper Niven, 2 superstars who were talented but who've been booked badly for years. If they wanted to showcase these 2 superstars, they would have done better by booking them in a tag match with established stars. Number 2, did Triple H swerve the fans? Did Triple H swerve the universe during his promo about SmackDown? The game informed fans of the Solo vs Cody steel cage match, and teased fans needed to stay tuned to see what else was in store. Naturally, some fans saw this as a hint to expect something huge, such as a return of The Rock. Granted, Roman Reigns' appearance was big, but many fans expected it, which made them accept more. Do you think Triple H swerved the fans, or did they read too much into his comments? Let us know in the comments down below. Of course, there was nothing downright ugly. This was the Roman Reigns show, which was a great way to start the season and build things up for the fall, as well as bad blood. What would you guys think of SmackDown's return to the USA Network? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to the news. Our top story looks at when will the original Bloodline reunite? Or will the original Tribal Chief ever reunite with the original Bloodline's members, Jay and Jimmy Uso, and even possibly Honorary Uso Sami Zayn? While Reigns could use the backup as he deals with Solo Sikoa's numbers advantage, so far the only backup he has is Cody Rhodes. Nonetheless, WRKD Wrestling is reporting it's only a question of when before Roman's allies return. Be patient, the OG Bloodline will get back together when the moment is right, it's only a matter of time. I won't be surprised if Solo uses a numbers advantage when he and Jacob Fatu face Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, setting things up for Jay and Jimmy to show up and reunite as brothers again. Next up, Rikishi wants WWE to do better with Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu has been absolutely crushing it in WWE, not to mention crushing many of his opponents. But Uncle Rikishi feels the WWE can do more. The WWE Hall of Famer discussed this on his podcast, saying, I feel we need to, really brand him. He's branded. He did this branding on the Independent. We need to put him on TV matches, give him like 3-4 minutes, let's spice up. I think they can do better with as far as his intro. We need something exactly what the Bloodline is. Dramatic. Do you guys agree with Rikishi? It was WWE doing well with the Samoan Werewolf. Next up, a potential new manager for Jacob Fatu. It's good news for fans of former WWE superstar Armando Alejandro Estrada, as PW Insiders reported that the man best known for managing Umaga has signed a Legends deal with WWE. And now some fans are speculating whether Estrada might manage Jacob Fatu in the near future, much as he managed Fatu's uncle Umaga in the WWE. Would you guys like to see this happen? Let us know in the comments. Next up, Triple H flex. I wish Triple H's stock continuing to rise in TKO Holdings. Some fans who caught SmackDown's closing credits noticed Paul Levesque and Lee Fitting are listed as the show's executive producers, believing that this is further proof of Triple H's continued rise in the executive hierarchy. Next up, WWE changing up new signings. The Motor City Machine Guns, aka Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, are NXT bound, but fans should expect some changes to the team when they debut on the Black and Gold brand. Pro Wrestling Nexus is reporting logos, merch designs are still being worked out for Motor City Machine Guns in WWE. They will not be using their TNA name, and from the sound of it, Def Rebel has a theme set for them already. There's no word yet on whether any other changes will be made, including Sabin and Shelley's names or the team name. Next up, rest in peace Def Rebel and bad WWE music. Speaking of Def Rebel, rumor has it that WWE won't be renewing its deal with the artist currently producing much of the WWE's music, or should we say bad music. According to Pro Wrestling Nexus's Corey, we've heard rumblings that Def Rebel will not have their contracts renewed when it ends. They also added, when trying to reach out to figure out when that is exactly and to add more confirmation to this is not set as fact yet, and until further confirmation, take it as a grain of salt. This adds to the report by Corey where WWE is looking to utilize more outside artists more and more. Many fans believe Def Rebel's music has lacked vitality and pales in comparison to previous pieces produced by Jim Johnson. As noted by Inside the Ropes, the WWE replaced SmackDown's previous theme with Never Play by Megan Thee Stallion. Also, what do you guys think of the new theme? Next up, WWE Superstars appear at TNA Victory. A Friday night was a big night for TNA Wrestling as it held its Victory Road event, and the promotion upped the ante with several appearances by WWE stars including JBL, Ariana Grace, and Wendy Chu. JBL helped TNA champion Nick Nemeth deal with outside interference from the system during Nemeth's title defense against Moose. Wendy Chu unsuccessfully challenged TNA Knockouts champion Jordan Grace for the title, while TNA's Santino Marella reunited backstage with his daughter, NXT superstar Ariana Grace. Fans will be paying close attention for more crossovers as TNA prepares for Bound for Glory, its biggest show of the year. Next up, Backlash against Vickie Guerrero. The SmackDown featured many appearances from WWE alumni, including Rob Van Dam, who was with his girlfriend Katie Forbes. But it also included former WWE star Vickie Guerrero, and there was much criticism of her appearance. An ex-account tweeted, "Incredible to put Vickie on TV after she supported her daughter's abuser." Vickie Guerrero was the subject of controversy when she allegedly defended her daughter's abuser. The WWE seems to embrace Vickie's return, posting a SmackDown exclusive of Guerrero sharing her thoughts on returning to the WWE, including her assessment of Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis as general managers. And finally, SmackDown Pyro is back. And last but not least, SmackDown's season premiere featured some cool cosmetic changes, including a return of pyrotechnics. The WWE hasn't used pyro in a while, so last night's fireworks meant more and symbolized the Blue Brand's return to the USA Network. But there you have it, folks, our look at SmackDown, as well as the wildest news, stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.